So I've come here to Bicester Heritage, or Bicester Motion as they like to call it, and I'm here for Wheeler Dealer Live. Now I think this is the second running of Wheeler Dealer Live. I didn't come to one last year, so I thought I'd come this year and see what's about. Okay, going to start down one end, and I think these are all car clubs around the edges. Don't know which car club this is, but we've got a Ferrari FF here with a nice yellow stripe down the middle. It's just as well because the rest of it's grey. But a lot of stuff in here is modern, so I'm going to try and pick out the classic cars amongst them that are of interest, or anything sort of that's modern like this that is of interest. Got an MGB GT sitting next to a new Mustang. And I know that there's a lot of people like these Peugeot 205s, both GTIs. What's that? That one says it's a 2 litre. Didn't know there was a 2 litre GT16 and that 1.9. Another Peugeot and a mini hearse. Okay, that's unusual. We've got another MGB GT, pretty tidy looking one. Sitting behind this Dodge Charger RT. It's nicely turned out, this one, sort of maroon colour with these 2 stripes on the back. Bit of Mopar muscle. Perhaps not the best colour for these. I had a black one for a weekend that was sort of frozen black, sort of satin colour, and it just looked so futuristic. Even at the time, I think it was based on a 10-year-old design, and now it's 20 years old, I guess. It's a shame they never pursued this idea of this, sporty-looking hybrid. I drove it, I was quite impressed. It's a Ford Cortina Mark III GT. So this would have been the ideal car for the family man who wanted a bit of excitement. My father had one, not a GT sadly, but it was in Olympic blue. But yeah, this kind of shape. Now I'm not up on my 50s American cars. All I know is it's a Bel Air, so I guess it's a Chevy Bel Air. Enormous thing, isn't it? Especially for only a 2-door car. Undoubtedly a replica, Shelby Daytona, but very nice too. Well, may not be a replica, what do they call them, a recreation or a continuation? Tool room copy, I don't know. Very distinctive, very sort of forward slanted cam tail on these. I'm completely stumped on this one, so help me out, let me know what this is. Obviously a big lump of American. It's got a Corvette LS engine in it. But that doesn't mean anything. It's a very popular mod to do with things. I don't know what this badge is. Let's have a look. Let me know in the comments. So that is an unfeasibly clean engine bay on this 911. Makes you wonder how much they use the car, doesn't it? Nice colour though. Okay, Ford GT40. Again, undoubtedly a replica, toolroom copy, continuation, call it what you will. Nicely done. We're going to be fighting the music, I think. But yeah, Rata Rossa here, chatting to Ben from Road to Success over the back there. This is Testarossa. I don't know if it was, presumably not a factory convertible, but it's one they decided not to make nice looking, so keep it as rat look. But he's since done up lots of other Ferraris. Seems to be able to find somewhere to buy them cheap. So it's a Ferrari race car, possibly a replica again. I don't know if there's going to be such things out in public at this kind of event. And I'm guessing in terms of age, it'd be what, from the 50s or early 60s, that kind of era. There's a few other race and rally cars here. So we've got a Peugeot and a Ford Sierra, and this, the Volvo 850R. I remember these racing in British touring car. So I found a Lotus Esprit. There is another one I shall see in a minute, but this is like the X180, the Stevens car, follow on from the Giugiaro designs. 1989, this one's a turbo. Full of period correct gear, apart from the iPhone. So yeah, pretty much the engine's much the same, I think, as the turbo. Same smell for sure. That's sitting next to a Dodge Challenger, so sort of, you know, sibling to the Charger. Not so many about, I don't think, the Challengers. Quite a smaller car, but nice looking, really nice in this orange paint job. Now it's Lamborghini Urus, definitely not my thing, and I've just checked with my resident Gen Z, and it's not their thing either. Nicely done, but only if you like that kind of job. So I think I've found myself in Subaru corner. Just to give you a quick sweep round of all the Subarus that are here. And I know precious little about Subarus other than what an Impreza looks like. It's Honda NSX, owned by somebody I know. This is an automatic, so not as exciting perhaps as the manuals. And obviously it's always associated with Senna, isn't it? Although rumour has it he barely touched it in terms of development. More of my things up this end. So we've got this Volvo P1800 sitting next to a Rolls-Royce, I guess Silver Spirit, I think that might be. So the one that followed on from the Shadow. That's sitting in front of a Jensen Healey that's actually for sale. Let's see how much this Jensen Healey is. I like these, or I like the idea of these because they've got the same engine as the Esprit pretty much. Let's see. I think it's being sold by a dealer possibly. Let's see if I can see how much he's selling it for. Oh no! Oh, here we go. £10,000. 10,000. Okay, I think. I don't know what the prices of these are. It seems quite a lot, but obviously depends on condition. Bentley Turbo R sitting behind here, sitting next to a TVR Chimera, I think that is. Got a Porsche Targa, 911 Targa here, and sitting next to another P1800. Now let's have a look. So there's a key difference between these two is this one doesn't have the bullhorn or cow horn front bumpers, but it does have the sort of hockey stick side trims. So I'm guessing that this one over here is the earlier one and possibly the one that was built in the West Midlands by Jensen. What's probably my dream car, Aston Martin V8. Such a beautiful shape. And that's sitting next to a DB9 and a DB6 Vantage beyond that. Now I asked my son, who's 17 going on 18, which of these he thought I would want to take home, and he told me which one he wanted to take home, which was that one, but obviously he couldn't because that's mine. So Volvo 480. I always fancied one of these because I think this one's had a bit of tuning going on, isn't it? Little blue bits and pieces from Polestar perhaps. So when I was about 17, 18, these came out. This is the turbo version, and the local Volvo dealer displayed one at the sort of local show, and I was just smitten with it. So I do quite fancy getting one of these. Not a lot of money actually. Now a bit further afield we've got a lot of Fords, more modern things, and we've got thumpy music, so less my classic car crowd of what is usually here, but this is interesting. Little lineup of Volvos. It's Nordic Rides, which are Volvos and the occasional Saab. Another P1800 sitting there. Now this looks quite an early one. Alpha GTV. It's been a bit modified, I think. I'm guessing by the wheels. Also, I think I'm in a sort of modified area as well. So you look around, they've all got sort of different paint jobs and later wheels like that. You know, RS Turbo, slammed, different things. Granada Scorpio there as well. And I think this is where all the music was coming from earlier. All these rigs with their stereos sitting in the back. Probably spending as much on those, on the sound system, as they do on the actual vehicle itself. Now obviously renewed interest in the Renault 5 since the electric version has come out, but these old ones, these GT turbos, They're very sought after. So kind of it's competitor to the Volkswagen Golf GTI, Fiesta XR2, that kind of thing. I don't think I'll go any further up here because I've got music blaring again, so I'll be fighting that. I'll have a look at that Lambo in a minute, but just have a look quickly at this Corvette. I think I've said before, and this one particularly because it's the ZR1, this has a flat plane V8, so it means you can rev harder and higher, and it's it's pretty much a Ferrari, isn't it? At probably what, 1/3 the cost. So we've got some supercars here. We've got a couple of Lamborghinis. So what's that? An Aventador and another Aventador, I think. Yeah. So 2 Aventadors. Quite nice. Various other cars, AMGs. It's pretty eclectic mix, I guess. I'm sensing here. There's a lot of modern classics, a lot of modified modern classics as well.
Oh, I'm so pleased he turned up now. Right, here we go. Terry Grant. It was a stumble backwards. Okay. Right, here we go. Cole, don't move! Oh! Yeah! Cole didn't move! What a legend! Whoa!
Do this.
I know, and in automatic. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in this Duke do. Come on, Terry! Clap! 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 No! Clap, 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 no! Clap, no! Clap, 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 no! Yeah! Okay, help! Jeez! Help!
Oh.
What the hell? Look at that! It is not funny!
Sam's on his head.
People.
Sam is on his head.
Got a McLaren down here. What's that? Is that a 570? 570S next to a AMG GT. And Alpine at the end there. Well, that's a sparkly paint job, isn't it, on this VW beach buggy. And another McLaren. So it's another there's a 600 LT. So yeah, the long tail, got the exhaust sticking out the top. So this is the petrol hedonism stand. I think this whole event is organised by Ciro from Petrol Hedonism. It's just sort of branded as wheeler dealer, kind of trying to get a slightly broader audience. It's got a TVR Tuscan here, and is that a I can't remember what they are now. Anyway, it's a Lexus of some sort, isn't it? And these Nissan GTRs, Skylines. They're pointed out to me by my son, who's more into these than I would be. So we saw the other Renault 5s earlier. This one, special, Renault 5 Turbo. So this is where the engine has been mounted in the middle of the car. Amazing. No room for a passenger, but who'd want to be a passenger in that? It would be mental. A couple of Ford Escorts and RS Cosworth, or the pinnacle, the end of the line, if you like, Escorts, and then a Mark 1 RS 2000, so one of the first hotted up Escorts. So currently we've got Mike Brewer, Mark Priestley and stood on stage, so I won't be doing much filming here at the moment, but I'll come back and do these cars shortly. It's an opportunity to take a bit of a closer look at the Rata Rossa whilst there's no one around it. It really is it's, not just patina, there's damage. Yeah, it's just left it almost, you just got it running and left it as it was, I guess. Fair play. So I think this is another YouTuber's car, isn't it? I think this is Dad Cars. Yeah. He's had various things. I think he started with a DB9 because he wanted a car that he could fit his kids into. And now he's got this Maserati Gran Turismo. Or one of the cars he's got. I'm guessing he's got more than one now. He's doing very well. And here's the Esprit that I said I'd find. This belongs to my friend Alan. Featured on the channel previously. And there's the man himself, chatting to Mike, who owns that NSX over the back. So what we've got here, Audi Quattro, done up in rally gear. Fiesta XR2, that's the Mark III version. I don't know, that might be Mike Brewer's. I know that he had one in this era. And I'm reliably informed this is a Toyota A86. I don't know what that means. I only go by the names normally. Corolla. Yeah, it looks in good nick, doesn't it? Not really my thing, and this looks like a very short wheelbase Quattro. Now I do fancy a Ford Mustang. This classic one, 60s one. Don't know what era this is, or what vintage, sorry, I think, but this is obviously a Gen 1, mid to late 60s. It's got a V8 in it. It's an unusual colour, not seen that colour before. I think maybe if I don't know, certainly would want a fastback of this kind of era. That would be lovely. But convertibles would look pretty good too. I'm not sure if any of you were screaming at the screen earlier, telling me what this was. A Buick Riviera, by all accounts. So that's how much I know about American cars. Very little, to be fair. Okay, 360 Modena. This is actually a manual, so there's not so many of these around. Much more desirable. And sadly they've put the music back on again. They were just doing some stage work just now, which meant they had it turned off, which is much better. But yeah, I think 360s are coming. They seem to be going up in value a little bit. They're sitting next to a E30 BMW, just a basic 316, so 1.6 litre. But it's a really nice looking thing. And this is how eclectic things are. You're sitting next to a Huracan Roadster. Bright yellow, what am I talking about? Bright green. And yeah, someone giving their 488 a bit of a blip over here. Just go past this R8 GT3 RS there. So yeah, here we are. It's a nice colour, isn't it? It's either Le Mans blue or Tour de France blue. But nice. Would prefer a 458, but there we go. I'm sitting next to a GTI, the Volkswagen Golf GTI. So relatively late arrivals coming from Tom Harley cars. It's this Aventador SV Aperta or Spider, and his father, that was Carl that came in that, and his father Tom turned up in this Countach. If I can get a decent shot of it without anyone in the way. It's the epitome of a poster car, isn't it? Looks like this is one of the very later models with all the body kit and side skirts and stuff. Still pretty cool. Well, I think I'm going to call it a day there at Wheeler Dealer Live. First time I've been. What do I think of it? I think it's probably a good sort of family show. There's a lot of families here that you could bring, younger kids. Maybe less so than a scramble, which is probably aimed at more older fans of classic cars and the like. But yeah, it's a bit of a, quite a mix of things. Lots of modern cars, lots of modified cars. Very different vibe to a scramble. So I'd say yes, if you are thinking of coming next year, then do so. It's been a great day. Leave me a comment about what you liked about what you've seen, whether you're here at the show or you just watched the video. And don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more classic car content. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.